It's Video Friday, and today I want to help us put a little more inside SEO. We're going to talk with my good friend Zach Perez, who is a social media expert, about how we can rank higher. So let's hop on over and chat with Zach. Hi everyone, I am Leah Remele, and we are now in my home office with Zach Perez in his office. I'm excited for us to get to talk to him because he is the SEO ninja when it comes to professional photographers and helping us bring our websites to where we want them to be. In fact, when I have questions for GoForProPhotos.com and my photography business, Zach is who I call up to get my answers. So I am excited for you guys to get some amazing nuggets that you can bring right into your businesses today too. So welcome, Zach.
Thanks. Nice to talk to you as always, Leah.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited to have you today. So we decided that we just want to talk about Facebook today, right? So
Sure.
just kind of helping people, the rules of the game change all the time.
They do. They keep me busy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
And up at night. More than my kids.
I'm sure, because then people like me are like, what do we do?
Facebook's like my fourth kid.
So tell me, what is the main mistake that you see photographers making on a consistent basis that we can fix? What are we doing wrong?
The good thing is it's easy. And if you start doing this, you'll notice an instant improvement. I mean, in the next 5 minutes, you'll notice an improvement. And that is to talk about your users' interests instead of your interess.
Ooh, I
so
like
photographers, they have a tendency to say, here's my latest session, here's my latest photo, here's what I, photographed yesterday, which is good. You want to promote your business and link to your site from Facebook. But do you think that's the first thing that your fan base wants to know? They might want some of that on a limited basis, but there's a lot of other things you could talk about that are going to be very interesting, very conversational, and we'll talk about how that improves your Facebook engagement score, which can get you seen by more people.
I like that because, let's say you're a children's photographer and you're putting posts out for that client base. What are they often thinking about? They're thinking about, what the heck am I going to make for dinner? So by putting out posts maybe for a recipe and, something that helps them, that would be exciting. Okay, so you just mentioned for rankings and such. Explain what you mean and help everybody understand that.
Right. I'm sure everybody noticed through their Facebook pages that posts to your Facebook page are showing up a lot less. If you look at your insight analytics in Facebook, you can see how many people saw that post. That's been dropping consistently because Facebook's trying to get you to pay to promote that post. Well, if Facebook didn't show any of your business stuff, all of Facebook users would get upset about that. They want to see what's interesting to them. So Facebook's got this score called EdgeRank. It's kind of like a Google score, to measure what ranks high in search, but Facebook's EdgeRank determines how many people you get in front of. And if you've got a post that's got a lot of likes and a lot of comments, it knows people want to see that, and Facebook would be doing a disservice to hide it. So the more you can increase that EdgeRank by getting likes and comments and going viral with the things you're talking about, the more they're going to show your stuff. Just like with Google, the more page rank you get, the more people are talking about you, the higher you're going to rank, because Google knows people want that. So your goal with Facebook is sharing good information that people want to talk about, and oftentimes that's not going to be your latest photography session.
Okay, so in order to improve your EdgeRank, you want to do things that are going to create a conversation. So get them to like that post, to comment on that post, and to share that post?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So simple things like asking a question obviously will elicit a lot of response. Adding a photo that says, like this if you agree. You've probably are now thinking like, oh, I've seen people put those images out there, that's why. Mm-hmm. They're telling you to click like in a big, bold way so that they can increase that engagement. And definitely talking about more than your latest sessions. If you want to stick with photography, you can talk about educational things like how to organize portraits on the wall, the difference between great photo paper and bad photo paper, ideas for backdrops, how to shoot at home, why Kodak is going bankrupt. Those are all things that will position you as an expert in photography, even though it's not about your business specifically. And people really like that. Every time they see your face and see something great about what's going on in photography, or if you've given them a tip, that just improves your branding in their mind.
I like that. I think that's so true. And I definitely am a believer that if there's not a picture with it, people aren't going to look at it. So
Yeah.
every single post that you put up there should have some sort of image to go with it, even if it's just text that you threw together in Photoshop, but something
Absolutely.
that draws people in. So one thing you mentioned was bringing more attention and having more interest, and I think that can go along with sharing things that are personal. So tell me what your take on bringing that element into your business Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. So my Facebook page gives tips on how to improve your website. And I feel, and photographers do too, that I'm making them money and giving them very valuable resources. Yet every time I post something business, like what to do with Facebook, how to rank better in search, I don't get much engagement. Yet I post something like the biggest comments I ever had was, well, two different ones. One was, I just finished reading the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. Oh my gosh, awesome. Well, the time was well spent. And I got, just tons and tons of comments about that. And I was thinking, well, why are they responding to this, which really is meaningless in the sense of business? They don't know me for that, yet that was what was interesting to them at the time. It was something they could comment on. So that was one thing. Personal post was my most engaging of all time. The other was a question that I knew the answer to. I had said, could you eliminate your website in favor of just having a Facebook page? And the obvious answer is no way. Nobody would ever consider that. Not possible. Facebook, we don't want them controlling us. And it really created a controversial debate on my Facebook page. I wasn't really asking. I didn't need to know the answer, but by doing that, I got people talking and my name in front of them.
Okay. So here's a couple things that I take from that. Number one is that people love to know something. They want to share. We all want to share. When you share, and this is relevant for photographers, when we share information that people don't know anything about, they're not an expert in that area. They don't have any insights, so they're like, good thought.
Right.
They're not sure what to say. You might get a few that are like, this is beautiful if it's photography, or, oh, I'm going to try that. But in general, you're not going to get much. When you shared about the book, you had so many people who, I'm assuming most of the people who commented had read that book.
Right.
So they were all putting in their 2 cents because they had 2 cents to throw in the pile, where before they were scrounging. They didn't have any. So I definitely see that. And as far as debate, I find it very fascinating. I did a little experiment of my own a while back. And I was just curious to see, people tell you all the time that they don't want the drama. They don't like the drama in Facebook, right? So I wanted to see how true this really was. So I decided to do 2 posts. I did one on exact same time on a Tuesday, 1 week apart from each other. And the first one said, tell me what your favorite thing to see in your Facebook newsfeed is. And, I got, I don't know, probably 40 comments within an hour and everybody saying it. 1 week later, tell me what you hate seeing in your Facebook feed. That sucker blew up like nobody's business. And what was so interesting was that, you know what the number one thing that everyone said they didn't want to see in their feed was? Drama. They all kept saying it was the negativity and the drama. But when I asked a question that I knew was going to attract the negativity, that's what everyone shared.
Yeah.
So, and that's the one that went crazy. So it's kind of interesting that a little bit of drama seems to go a long way
I think the key is to experiment with a lot of different things. Don't be afraid to get personal. And then you can look at, I mean, Facebook gives you the analytics to show exactly what's working and not working, and just start doing more of what's working and less of what's not. Don't feel obligated to always talk about your sessions, because people are hiring you for who you are. The photos can come second to that. So as many opportunities as you can get in front of people, they'll remember you when they're ready to hire somebody.
I love that, because you are your brand. It's, most of us, it's your name on that business, and people need to know you. So, okay, I love that. So here's my last question for you. In Facebook, we see the who's talking about you, or not who's talking about you, but how many people are talking about you. How important do you think this number is, and how it's going to affect your overall ability to reach people?
Well, I think that goes into the EdgeRank algorithm, which we don't entirely know how it works or how much weight it carries. But I can say it is important because the more people that are talking about you, I'll bet if you measured any given week, you would get your posts in front of more people if there's others talking about you. And I actually think it probably affects your Google rank for your website as well, because Google is smart enough to know it's measuring popularity across the web to figure out who do people want to see when they're looking for one business, and they want to show the one that's got the most buzz first, and Facebook's going to be exactly the same. So I can't say exactly how important is it compared to other things, but it's definitely something you want to encourage. And there's probably some things you can get to kind of push people toward talking about you. Like instead of like this image, it's share this image, or promoting sharing on your blog with simple share icons to get that Facebook calls it virality. I think it's how many people are putting it out there, and ultimately leads back to you.
Okay. So what we can take away from this is that in Facebook, we need to create conversation and get people to like, share, comment, all that kind of stuff. And do that in the most creative way that we can by bringing things personal, bringing things that are relevant to what our clients are interested in, and looking to do more than just sharing our sneak peeks. Is there anything else that you think is important to add to that?
I do. One more thing, and that's don't be afraid to link back to your website. So if you're showing your images or talking about a blog post, make sure you link. It's amazing how many photographers have no links on their wall, and it's very hard to find your way outside of Facebook back to a site that they own. Facebook could turn you off at any time without warning. I've seen it happen, and you just want to make sure that you own that audience and the traffic, and you can do that by sending them over to your site and getting subscribers there as well.
Absolutely. Okay, and I 100% agree with you there. Every single post should have a link to something to do with your business to get them to that action step, to funnel them to the next direction you want to bring them. If you show a sneak peek, we keep talking about those, but you obviously want to funnel them to the blog so they can see that. If you show any kind of thing, if it's a recipe, why not turn that into a blog post,
right?
And let people be able to pin it and create popularity that way too.
Absolutely. So, yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Zach, thank you so much. It's always so much fun to talk to you, and you always give me tips that I know I can use and that I've seen the results with Go for Pro. So I'm grateful, and I'm excited that my readers can take this and go use it. So thanks for taking time with me today. And for everybody who doesn't know, you should definitely be going over to photographywebmarketing.com, which is where Zach shares all kind of insights. He has some amazing books that will walk you through exactly what to do to get on all different topics. I mean, whether it's like you say, I know you have different ebooks for like all kinds of different things when it comes to social media to get yourself where you need to be.
Search, social, web design, email marketing, basically all the pillars of representing yourself online.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thanks
everybody,
and we'll see you next week on Video Friday.